아직까지 남의 안에 열려 있다니까. 우리 그냥 이것들 달고 부산으로 갑시다 바로. 진짜 몇 톡한? 터널 끝나면 들어가자. 야, 당신들 봐. 지금 무슨 일이 벌어지고 있는지 몰라? 우리 열차는 더 이상 부산으로 운행할 수가 없게 됐습니다.
So one of the things that I love about the zombie genre is how throughout my life it has consistently surprised me at points where I'm just not expecting it to happen. I'd almost given up on zombies like ever coming back. And then 28 days later, and that Dawn of the Dead remake and Shaun of the Dead happened like within a year and a half. And all of a sudden we got this avalanche of zombies. And me as just this voracious, guy who just will eat as much zombies as you give me, I'm just in hog heaven. I'm loving it. And I'm hearing everybody talk about how, I don't know, it's too much. Zombie movies are terrible. Zombie movies are just, it's oversaturation. I defended The Walking Dead right to the last season, god damn it. I am all in with the zombies. But it had been a while. Wreck was a nice highlight, but it had been a while since there'd been like a truly game-changing, holy shit, blew my mind zombie movie. It had been long enough that I was starting to wonder, again, if it would ever happen. If maybe I'd have to finally concede that everyone else was right. We have oversaturated zombies to the point where they just don't work anymore. And then I saw Train to Busan, and I was completely just vindicated in my position on zombies. They're incredibly malleable in how you can use them. You can use them just for visceral teeth and tissue violence. You can use them for social commentary. You can use them for satire. They are incredibly pliable. But even at the base element, there's a plague, a very sudden plague. You're trapped on a train with your daughter. How are you going to, just in the immediate circumstance, keep her and yourself alive? And it is 2 hours of the most intensely thrilling zombie cinema that has ever been made. I know I sound like I'm being a little bit overselling it and everything like that, but I can't undersell the emotional, visceral power of the movie. This is a zombie movie that may well wring tears from you. It is fan-fucking-tastic. So I'm not sure if it's coming through, but I'm a big fan of Train to Busan.
This film completely blows my fucking mind. If you don't mind the odd F-bomb here, Larry, but you are not overselling it. It's you can't. It's after I saw this the first time, and I tell this to, I think I said it to you, like, I consider if there's three granddaddy zombie movies through history to me that are just, if I had to pick three, the main, just most important, influential, game-changing zombie movies to me, we got Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, and this puppy here, Train to Busan. That's how important and how highly I regard this film. It's just incredible. Like you said, the visceral violence of the zombies, but that emotional impact. Dude, I shed tears during this movie, and it's and then while you're reading as well, it's subtitled, it's Korean.
Yeah.
So for the performances to be that good, where I'm catching all the visual, and plus, I'm getting the dialogue, and it's impacting me, I feel stuff. It's the rare thing to watch a zombie movie that's this crazy and frantic and violent. There is a lot of violence in it and scares, but also to have that much emotion is, I think, what really, really impressed me.
Yeah. It also is a piecemeal. If you're a zombie movie fan, which I think we can safely say you and I are, you can see where it's borrowing from. It's like taking the ferocity and the fast zombies of like your Wreck and your 28 Days Later, but it's also taking elements of Romero's. We very definitely have one of the biggest fucking Cooper characters in zombie movie history.
History. I was saying the same thing while it was on, that this guy might be the biggest asshole in not just zombie history, maybe movie history, where his whole purpose is just to be an asshole.
You rage and you rage and you rage against him, and every time you think he's hit bottom and he's done the worst thing he can possibly do, he absolutely goes lower. It's unbelievable. You hate him so much. And again, that's an emotional reaction. Like, when you hate a character that passionately, the movie is working you and working you well. But there's also characters that you love, you know? There's this guy who's protecting his pregnant wife through the whole movie. And you know the second you meet this guy, because he's non-essential, that this guy's not making the end credits of the movie. But it's still breaks you in half when shit goes bad for him. Like, the performances are just amazing. Like, my thing with Train to Busan now, because I've seen it a lot of times because it's fucking amazing, is that I think there might be maybe two things in the whole movie that I would personally change. And again, small things. And we found threads to pull in Dawn of the Dead as well. But there's two scenes pretty early in the movie. One where a deer is run over by a truck and obliterated, and it kind of rebuilds itself and reconnects together. And a scene where the zombies are falling out of the sky, smashing onto the ground, and then getting up and their bodies reconstituting and continuing to attack. For whatever reason, they established that in the first act of the movie, but that is not how the zombies behave for the rest of the movie. For the rest of the movie, like, they're very fast, they're very ferocious, but they don't, you know, suddenly get up and unbreak their bones if their bones are broken. But
well, see, I don't know, because I think a big key on this is the way the zombies move. Like, I think they hired a lot of missiles where they're kind of moving their arms backwards, and just the way they move is really kind of creepy and
unnatural.
Even not really like World War Z, but kind of almost in that way where they're kind of rolling over each other. They're, you know, when they're holding onto the train near the end, and there's this whole, there must be like 50 zombies, all this kind of building this whole thing together. And I think this one worked a lot better than how they did a similar idea in World War Z. But
they swarm like
the way
insects.
they were falling and breaking. Yeah, for sure. I didn't really clock that the way you did. If they changed movements partway through, I think there's just so much going on. I didn't really notice that.
I like the way they run, and like they have this weird waddle on. But I'm talking about like the deer is smushed by the truck, and it somehow unsmushes itself and stands up again, right? I didn't think they were that level of indestructible for the rest of the movie. They were all like individual Terminators in a couple of those scenes. But again, I don't mean to make a meal out of this, because this is a small thing. And while the movie's moving too fast for you to really clock it, it's because I've seen it several times that I noticed these little things. But I like the way they handle the zombies. It's described in the novels that they based the Pontypool off of, this weird herd mentality of zombies. Like when they're pressed up against the glass and the glass finally yields, it's like this one volume thing vomits through the glass. Like it's this sort of pouring, undulating mass of arms, and like I don't know how it was accomplished, because they had a lot of extras, but a lot of that had to be CGI, but it's seamless.
Yeah, it looks really good. There wasn't anything, you know, where you point out and say, well, that's fake, but
but the zombies have their, well, I mean, it's fake because they're zombies, but they have their own little things too. They are incredibly aggressive if they see you, but the second they can't see you, like you put paper on glass, they're fine. But the second they see you, they are furious.
Like the one guy, he throws a blanket over the zombie's head, and the zombie just all of a sudden stops. He doesn't know what to do, and then he can get away. You're right, that's one thing they added to this, is they don't attack you if they don't see you. They're just wandering, but if they see you, they go just rabid. But because they start walking by them, the train cars, just being quiet, through the tunnels when it's dark.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to cross the train is you can only
go so far. Sorry, you were cutting out there a little bit. You can only go so far in the train.
Yeah, and I think well, because you're confined to a space, and once you hit the end of the train, there's nowhere else to go. So there is that kind of horror element as well. Then they do a good job introducing the characters. Certain we're going to meet these people. We're going to meet the elderly lady and her sister. We're going to meet his baseball team, and a young couple, and the married couple you mentioned. And there's a lot of people on this train that are just there to get eaten and killed. But they do a great job in introducing us to certain people that you can kind of know and like, and of course, and the asshole as well. And maybe the asshole thing is a bit on the nose. It's just how hard they wanted to. All right, this guy's name may as well be asshole, but why does he keep on living?
He just kills person after person, and he does the wrong thing again and again, and he's rewarded for it again and again, and you hate him so much that for a while you start cheering for the zombies, but then even when he becomes a zombie, he's still this epic problem. Oh. There's the homeless guy who was chased onto the train by the first infected, at least ground zero for the infection on the train. So he knows what's going on, and he's not supposed to be there. And on some level, whether he clocks it or not, because he led her onto the train, I think he kind of feels a little bit responsible, and he particularly latches onto this little girl. And it's funny because it's this entire little character thread subplot, and it's almost entirely unspoken, but it totally works.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that just works too. I mean, even kind of the stuff between the little girl and her dad, how the one guy says her job means he's a bloodsucker, and she kind of says, people say that, or she kind of knows it, or there's odd moments where she judges her dad, and this is why mom left, and she's such a little kid, and she does a great job as far as the child actor as well.
My.
But yeah, it's really hard because you see that it's a broken marriage. He's bringing her to see her mom because that's what she wants, and he's trying to repair that relationship. And just some moments in that are so just emotional, and it's such a. I don't know. I love recommending this to people who haven't seen it. They really got it.
It's a safe recommend. He's lost trust with his daughter is the thing. Like when he promises he's going to be back, she doubts him. Like she doesn't feel safe and loved with her dad until the third act of the movie. And it's like crushing. Like again, I said it at the beginning, it really works on you emotionally in a way that no other zombie movie I can think of can. There's a scene, and I know I do spoilers on the show, but even on the chance that I'm spoiling this for someone, I don't want to completely say it, but there's a scene with two characters walking through a tunnel, and that little girl is singing a song to her father.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus! Like, wow!
Oh, gosh, yeah. And even, in a foreign language, it gets to, right?
Yeah. And I don't think, we're both dads and we're both Papa Bears, and, like, that can get to us, but I don't think it's a prerequisite. Like, I think if you're a human being with feelings, this is gonna, like, work for you. And the end of the initial Train to Busan, that crash that happens with the cast of thousands, zombies running everywhere, it's really everything World War Z should have been. Like, in a lot of ways. It puts to shame, like, big budget zombie movies anywhere. Like, I did a whole episode dedicated to Resident Evil, the Resident Evil franchise, and like they spent millions of dollars on those movies, and there's sequences that look cool, but if you really applied that money in a really, if you applied it correctly, you would get Train to Busan. And I'm so glad that it happened. Like, I felt completely regenerated and, like I say, vindicated in my zombie fandom from this movie. And like you say, recommending this to people is such a safe bet. Even people who don't like zombie movies get caught up in it because the characters are strong and the momentum and energy of the movie just carries you through it. you can't look away.
Word is, I guess there's plans for an American remake as well. And to that, I just say, why?
Yeah.
If the perfect movie exists, what are you going to improve on it? Just make it in a different language, I guess.
Well, and they did this sequel to it, Peninsula, and I don't know. I think it's a little too reliant on the CGI. It certainly was not as impressive as Train to Busan, but to be fair, it would be an almost impossible act to follow. Like, bravo. Like, I would buy a beer to everyone on set, although that would be expensive because, like I say, cast of thousands. Good enough? Have we sold Train to Busan?
Yeah, maybe just buy a beer for the survivors.
Yeah.
That cast is a little smaller.